Hey Autumn, how you doing? Okay, I've got your poster up, so let's just take it from the top here, literally. Let's start right here. Watch your kerning. Got a lot of space between your letter forms. That's okay right there. Everything else really needs to be close. I think your letters are really far apart. Same thing here. Watch your kerning right there. That's good. But right there, we got a big space right there, another one right there. So really adjust your kerning, really pay attention to those rules of kerning that we learned back in the first 2 weeks of class. Okay, let's take a look at your type over here. So this center align type is causing some problems. And one of the biggest problems are the widows associated. That is technically a widow, and so is that. And that's something that's just really, you just can't have that in typography, because your portfolio reviewer or potential employer will see that. It's one of the first things that reviewers look at in typography is widows and orphans. So it's really, really important that you don't have those. The other thing I would recommend is using old style numerals as well as small caps as opposed to all caps. So old style numerals we can see right in any, like the 12, or over here in your, especially in your timeline. Okay, and then we have small caps in like this, like PhD. Anything that's capitalized, that's all capitalized, should be in small caps. Other than that, I think that the center alignment, as what we've learned about center alignment is that it's not optimal for setting type, because it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't activate the negative space at all. It just creates a symmetry around the negative space associated with the type block. So it just doesn't provide the most visual engagement of, let's say, for instance, left align, right rag. So I would recommend that you reformat your type, and I would recommend that you keep it left aligned. You've got left aligned right here. Actually, this is a little strange right here. I'm not real sure what alignment this is right here, because these almost look aligned, but that crowfoot is hanging off the edge a little bit. And it's also, this is not alignment too. So I would left align those. I would left align the body copy. As far as the timeline goes, you're inconsistent here in well, actually you're not, because you've got the date at the end in the born and the died date. So that's great. 1928, studied chemistry at Somerville College, University of Oxford. I'm sorry. Shouldn't that be studied? That's past tense. Studied. Okay, and this is an incomplete sentence or incomplete thought. 1932, University of Cambridge to carry out doctoral research. That's not complete. So say something like 1932, University Crowfoot attended the University of Cambridge to carry out doctoral research. Okay. Conversely, 1946, structure of penicillin. Well, what about it? 1956, structure of vitamin B12, structure of insulin. So what is it about the structure of these elements that is relevant to Dorothy Crowfoot Hodgkins? Do you see what I'm saying? So describe those in very, very minute detail. Theoretically, the timeline isn't a timeline. Basically, it's just a list of chronological events. So the timeline would have to be associated with something or kind of constructed around some sort of an infographic. So for example, you could take this graphic right here, okay, and you could, instead of having these different letters, you could just take this graphic, sans the letters, forget the letters, and then you could build your infographic or your timeline off that. So here we take this and we orient it so that it's horizontal. Then over here we have 1928, studied chemistry at Somerville College. Then over here you have something coming off. This is 1932. Then 1946. Then 1956. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're actually building a timeline out of a sort of an infographic instead of just kind of assembling it around this circular element right here. Okay, so those are my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions, comments at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Thank you.